Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerdy Movie News Roundup, the show where we round up all of the biggest news, nerdy news specifically in the world of movies, TV shows, sometimes video games. We talk about video games sometimes around here, and we'll get to a potential video game later on in the episode. But first up, we have a showrunner for the upcoming Silk show on Amazon Prime. So this is an exclusive from Deadline. Tom Spezialy, coming off a run as an executive producer on HBO's Emmy-winning limited series Watchmen, has signed an overall deal with Amazon Studios. Under the pact, I hear Spezialy has joined Silk, Sony Pictures Television's upcoming live-action Marvel series, which reportedly is headed to Amazon Prime Video as SVOD distributor. Reps for Amazon and Sony declined to comment. I hear Spezialy will serve as executive producer / showrunner on the series, alongside executive producer Lauren Moon, a writer on Sony TV's Netflix series Atypical, who wrote the Silk TV adaptation based on the Korean-American comic book superhero created by Dan Slott and Humberto Ramos. Interesting news. I feel like everybody just kind of forgot that Silk TV show is going to be a thing. Because I think it was, I don't think it was ever announced by Sony themselves. I think it was mostly reported, but it's just one of those things where they were like, a Silk series is coming. We have found out, and then it was just like, okay, I guess we'll wait until more news comes out about it. But yeah, it has a showrunner, so it is the development is progressing. I don't really know much about this character, and I'm kind of curious to see how Sony's going to handle this. Is this show going to be in their Sonyverse along with Venom and Mobius, and then in turn is it then going to kind of also be in the MCU, or is this show specifically actually just going to be its own thing, not connected to anything, basically? Yeah, I don't know. It's intriguing. Amazon Prime is, I think, a great place to put this on because their shows are generally just pretty great. So I think this is promising. We'll see. And people also like that Watchmen show as well. So we'll see what happens. But next story, we have a tease for Supergirl's costume. So earlier in the week, Andy Muschietti, director of The Flash, he teased this on his Instagram, this Supergirl thing, and people were like, "Oh, look, it's a Supergirl costume. Look at that!" And it is very reminiscent of the Man of Steel Supergirl costume, which isn't surprising. This Flash movie is still in the DCEU, so presumably this Supergirl is going to be at least somewhat connected to our current canonical Superman. Who knows if they're actually gonna go all the way back to, if you remember when Man of Steel came out, and there was this tie-in comic where they showed I think Clark, when he went back to the Fortress of Solitude and he was looking at the pods, there was a dead body in one of the pods, and then there was an open pod that didn't have a body in it, and I remember way back when people were theorizing oh, is Supergirl, does Supergirl get out of the pod, and is Supergirl on Earth? And then they never did anything with that storyline. It would be cool if they actually came back to that and were like, oh yeah, no, it was Supergirl. But yeah, it could be that, but also there's also a really good chance that this Supergirl is going to be from another dimension, since they're doing a multiverse thing with this Flash movie. So we'll see what happens with it. But we more than this. So what am I saying? More so than this costume, we also got just actual pictures of the actress in the costume, and these are set photos. Now, I've seen a lot of people clowning on these on the suit. I think it looks fine. I think the abs are a little weird, but another thing that people also they always forget is that you really do have to wait until you see a suit in the movie or in the show, or at least in a trailer, or in a like in a proper promotional image, because when you just look at a suit on set, that's not really indicative of what it's going to look like in its final form, like actually in the movie. So like you never know how it's going to look like after all the color correction is done, after they add any like CGI elements. Like, she doesn't have her cape. That's because uh like superhero capes these days are done with CGI. So we really do have to just wait and see what it looks like in its final form. But even now, I think it looks fine. I know some people are kind of dogging on it. Actually, the one element that I think is a little weird is that she doesn't have like red boots. Like I just think it's a little weird because it kind of looks like she's wearing like she's like in little pajamas. But I don't know. That's like the one nitpick that I have. But overall, I think it looks fine. But we also have more set photos from The Flash. So we have here Michael Keaton. Look at him. He's there. He's not in the bat suit yet, but he's here kind of as Bruce Wayne, basically. And I think he looks awesome. I will say, I still lament the fact that we are never going to get a chance to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne in a Flashpoint movie, because this movie's basically going to be Flashpoint. And while don't get me wrong, I love Michael Keaton and I'm sure he's going to do a great like older Bruce Wayne. However excited I am to see that, I honestly think I would have traded him out for Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing a Thomas Wayne Batman, because I know Jeffrey Dean Morgan would absolutely kill that role. But we're probably never going to see him in. But we still have Michael Keaton here, and I think he looks awesome. He's got the gray hair, which is cool. And yeah, I'm mostly just excited to see him in the Batsuit, honestly. Which was teased and I covered that on the previous show. But next up, we have more set photos. We have Ezra Miller and Kiersey Clemens as Barry and Iris. I think I don't know. I feel like this set is like are they in front of like a courthouse? Were they in a courtroom? Was there like a case or something, or a thing? Was somebody getting? I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like they're coming out of like a building, I guess, or maybe is this like is Bruce Wayne giving like a press thing? But then Superman is there, Supergirl is there, just in her super suit. I don't know what's going on here, but it seems like they're all these characters are here on this set together, presumably in the same scene. So that's gonna be interesting to see what exactly is going on here. But yeah, Barry and Iris, they look fine, I guess. And then here are just some more close up pictures of Ezra Miller, not choking out a woman, thankfully. But that's it for the Flash. We'll have to wait and see more. Hopefully we get like some proper promotional images, or even a trailer at some point. Next up, we have Nigeria's Comic Republic signs production deal to bring African superheroes to the world. So this is an exclusive from The Hollywood Reporter. Nigeria's Comic Republic, Africa's largest publisher of independent comic books, has signed a production deal with Imagine Content and Jackie Boy Entertainment to adapt its catalog of African superheroes for film and TV. Comic Republic publishes such African-based titles as Ireti, the story of a university student in Abanda, Nigeria, blessed with superpowers; Aje, a fantasy title inspired by Yoruba spirituality and mysticism; and The Vanguards, which focuses on an Avengers-style team of superheroes. Most of the publisher's titles are rooted in traditional African mythology, folktales, and culture. The first project planned under the partnership is a feature film adaptation of Ireti, which the companies bill as the first African female superhero. I'm intrigued by this. I'm not familiar with any of these properties, but over the course of the past few years, we've seen more more superhero movies sort of about African Americans, and even with Black Panther, like actual Africans. But I think it'll be cool to see some movies and TV shows made like actually from source materials that are originated in Africa. I think that'll be really interesting to see. So yeah, I think this sounds really interesting, and I'm excited to see what comes from this. And also I think like superhero stuff and just comic book stuff in general that isn't from a Marvel or a DC, like that's always just going to intrigue me. But next up we have some Shazam suit reveals. So here we have like the core cast. These suits look a lot less campy than the original suits. I remember. I honestly I don't remember exactly how the other suits looked, but Shazam, like the main suit, he kind of looked like a Christopher Reeve Superman type suit, where it just looked very campy. These suits now look a lot more like DCEU suits. And I think they look good. And another weird thing to just point out here is that they replaced the actress from the girl that's the second to last girl going to the right. They replaced that actress. Now, like the actress that plays the girl version of her is also just gonna play like the superpowered adult version of herself, which isn't like the weirdest thing because I think she's like 24 years old. So it's not that the actress can't play an adult superhero, but I feel like it's just gonna be weird if all the other kids transform into another person and then she just stays as herself. But I don't know. I'm sure like the way they'll shoot it and just being in the costume will make her look more, powerful and super heroic. But it is weird that they already had like an actress that she turned into, and now that actress just got fired, I guess. But whatever, who cares? Then on the bottom we have Helen Mirren as Hespera, who's I want to be one of the villains of the movie. I guess she's like a goddess or something. I don't know, but she looks cool too. That's Shazam suits. They look fine. Next up, we got a new trailer for Snake Eyes, and this looks like a movie to me. I don't really care that much about G.I. Joe. It was a Snake Eyes trailer. I don't know. I don't want to hate on it too much, but I just don't have much to say about it. It just kind of looks like a movie to me. And the one thing I will say, though, is that they decided to change the name to Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. So it looks like now Hasbro is going to try to do their own Origins thing. And that idea has never failed before. So this should be a roarous success. But no, I don't know. I guess maybe I should say something more about the movie. I think the action looked fine. I think the character looks cool. I think is Snake Eyes not I think he's a character that traditionally doesn't speak, right? And he doesn't really show his face. So I think are fans mad about that? I wonder. Like are they like they're ruining the character because they have to like show the actor's face and he's talking a lot and stuff. Like, are people mad about that? I'm actually curious to see. But yeah, whatever. It's a movie. It's a movie. It's coming out. Tell me about it if you're excited about it in the comments. I don't know. Next up, we have Harrison Ford. He suffered from a shoulder injury. So this is coming from The Hollywood Reporter. In the course of rehearsing for a fight scene, Harrison Ford sustained an injury involving his shoulder. Production will continue while the appropriate course of treatment is evaluated, and the filming schedule will be reconfigured as needed in the coming weeks, a Disney spokesperson said in a statement. This is obviously not great. Apparently they are going to, like as he's recovering, they are going to continue the production by shooting scenes that he's not in. So they say that the movie isn't going to be like it's not going to be delayed. At least they're not planning on doing it. We'll see what actually happens. We'll see how long it takes for Harrison Ford to heal. But yeah, Harrison Ford, he gets injured a lot. Like he's just in a lot of accidents. Like I think he's crashed like 2 planes because he has like a pilot's license. And I remember on the set of like The Force Awakens, a door fell on him from the Millennium Falcon. So Harrison Ford, take care of yourself, man. But the other interesting thing to note is that Indiana Jones is going to be in like action scenes in this movie, and he's going to be fighting people. And apparently Harrison Ford is going to be doing a lot of his own stunts. So that's I'm admittedly cautious about that. Just because he's an older man, so hopefully they're able to pull it off, and hopefully he looks great in them. But yeah, we'll just have to see what comes from that. But next up, Paramount unveils Transformers: Rise of the Beasts as next chapter in the franchise. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. The Transformers franchise is transforming into something beastly. The 7th installment will be titled Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, Paramount revealed during a virtual press event Tuesday to celebrate the beginning of production. That name will be evocative to fans of the 1990s cartoon Beast Wars, which centered on a group of robots that took animal form. Filmmaker Stephen Caple Jr. was among the generation who grew up loving Beast Wars. Caple revealed that Optimus Prime will be the film's protagonist and that the fan-favorite character will appear in his Generation 1 form, that is, his look from the classic 1980s toy line. He once again will be voiced by Peter Cullen. In the Heights star Anthony Ramos and Project Power's Dominic Fishback lead the new Transformers movie as the human characters. Ramos grew up loving Beast Wars and plays Noah, a military veteran and electronics whiz. The film will release on June 24th, 2022. So, they have unveiled the next Transformers movie. Now, I'm not entirely certain, because, like, they're saying that this is going to take place in the 90s. Does that, like, fit with the canon of the movies, or does that kind of imply that this is going to be more of a reboot than a continuation of the core Transformers franchise? Because I'll be honest, I haven't seen the last Transformers movie, like proper Transformers movie, nor have I watched Bumblebee. So I don't remember when Bumblebee took place, because pretty sure that was a prequel as well. But this sounds promising. Like, it seems like they're going to be taking this in a bit of a fresh direction with a different director, and it seems like it's going to try and hit what Bumblebee hit, which, because I haven't seen it yet, but I know people really liked it, and they thought that it was kind of like just a more wholesome movie, and apparently they're gonna try and hit that tone with this movie as well. And clearly they're trying to market to fans of the 80s cartoon. They're basically just trying to go back to what fans loved about the cartoons that they watched as a kid. So this sounds promising. I mean, I'm not much of a Transformers guy myself, but I mean, yes, going in a different direction than what Bay was doing is just inherently sounds like it's going to be an improvement to me. But yeah, we'll have to see more when they show us stuff at a later date. Next story, we have a new Suicide Squad trailer. This trailer was weird. They're trying to do this thing where like the actors are like leaking the trailers, like going behind the studio's back, and so like depending on which version of this trailer you click on, there's like a different actor being like, hey, I got this trailer. This is me doing a Captain Boomerang actor, Jack Courtney. I got this trailer, mate. I got this trailer. I don't think they'll mind if I let you take a peek at my trailer. Oi, mate, take a watch at the trailer. And it's just kind of a weird stunt. Like, just put out the trailer, okay? You're not cute. Warner Brothers and actors. I mean, you are all cute because you're all famous actors and you're all really handsome, but you're not cute in the sense that you think you're cute. But anyways, this was a decent trailer. This is probably the best trailer so far. Like, I'll be honest, up until this trailer, I haven't been jazzed about this movie. I mean, I'm inherently excited, and I've just been inherently assuming it's just going to be a good movie because James Gunn is directing it. But the trailers themselves haven't exactly made me excited up until this one. I think this one was the first trailer where like the humor really hit for me, and we got just a better sense of what I mean. I guess I shouldn't say we're getting a better sense of what the story is, because obviously the story is that there's a bad thing that happens and then Amanda Waller sends in the Suicide Squad. But I guess I don't know. I guess we got a better sense of just like the dynamics of all the characters, and I'm just like I feel like I have a better sense of what this movie is and the tone of it, and this is the first trailer that like really sold me. So, yep, it was a good trailer. Go check it out. I'm excited to see the movie. Next story and the last story. We have some Superman game rumors. So, this is a bit of a doozy. So, okay. I'm reading from PlayStationLifestyle.net. Warner Brothers Games Montreal is hard at work on Gotham Knights, but this isn't the only project they have in the works. According to a recent job advert, the team is hard at work on a third-person open-world action game. As spotted by Reset Era, serial leaker James Sigfield has hinted that this project is likely to be a Superman game, while WB Montreal's creative director has also been dropping a few subtle references to the superhero. Sigfield has previously leaked the premise of Gotham Knights before the game was announced, as well as Rocksteady's focus on Suicide Squad. This lends more weight to his hints that the new game will be a Superman title. Sigfield has since been discussing the merits of a Superman game with fellow Twitter users, and several of his tweets have been liked by WB Game Montreal's creative director, Patrick Redding. While this could all be a coincidence, especially as I'm not sure Superman could be described as a new IP, a Superman game is long overdue, and the studio does have a history with the franchise. In terms of the game's universe, Superman would technically be a new IP for the developer, just as the Batman Arkham series of games was a new IP despite Batman being established. Superman's last game was 2006's Superman Returns, that was loosely tied to the movie of the same name, while the hero was featured in many games since then and is scheduled to make an appearance in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Many feel 15 years is far too long. Rumors have suggested that this isn't for want of trying. Warner Brothers has reportedly canned 2 Superman games since 2013. One of these was supposedly in development at WB Games Montreal. Of course, there were also rumors of a Superman title coming from Rocksteady. Whether these rumors have ever gotten off the ground remains to be seen. Okay, so that was a mouthful, but I felt like it was important to get like the context here, because I'm just here to say that we probably should not get too excited, because WB Montreal and Rocksteady are studios. I'm assuming that they're being run by like monkeys with wrenches, because it takes them forever to finish their games, and they have so many canceled games that while this James Sigfield guy, like, clearly he got it right that Gotham Knights was a thing and that Rocksteady was making a Suicide Squad game, so that definitely does lend him credibility. So I believe him when he says that WB Games Montreal is working on a Superman game, but as you heard at the end of what I read, WB Games Montreal and Rocksteady have been working on Superman games, and they've been canceled. They've been working on plenty of games, and they've been canceled. Just to paint this picture clearly, WB Games Montreal teased a Suicide Squad game at the end of Arkham Origins. WB Games Montreal. And then whatever that game was, it fell through, and then Rocksteady started doing a Suicide Squad game. Mind you that presumably Rocksteady was working on another game before the Suicide Squad, but then whatever they were working on must have fell through, and then they decided to do a Suicide Squad game. So it's like like I'm not gonna like get excited and buy into the idea that they're making a Suicide Squad game until I see like at the very least like a CGI trailer. You know what I'm saying? Like until I can see that, okay, they're making this game, it's happening, like they're committing to this, it's gonna be finished. I just can't get excited for this. And more than that, I do feel like the idea of WB Games Montreal being the ones to tackle a Superman game, I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually am someone who really enjoyed Arkham Origins. I think it's a straight up great game. I really do love it. That being said, when you look at it, it really is just a clone of Arkham City. They took like the same world, they took the same gameplay, they took a lot of the same gadgets and implementations of those gadgets. So while I do think it's a great game, I can't help but wonder if WB Games Montreal is I don't know if they're the studio to make a from the ground up Superman game that is going to stand with the with the Batman Arkham games. So just on that front, I mean, I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying I haven't seen something from them that indicates that they can do that. But I guess they're going to have a lot to prove with Gotham Knights, which is their next game that is basically from the ground up theirs. I mean, it's clear it's clearly takes inspiration from the Arkham games, but it also does seem like its own thing. But yeah, Superman game. I'm telling you now, don't get too excited about this. It could very easily fall through. But okay, that's it for Nerdy Movie News Roundup show, where we round up all of the nerdy movie news, although we ended on a video game news item. It's a loose show. It's not strict. Fuck you. Leave me alone. Bye.